are back with more of My Southern Home, and I'm here with Daniel Woods with the Addison Group and Chris Herrington with H2L Outdoor Solutions. And you guys have brought us to another amazing outdoor living area. And Daniel, one of the things that I like so much about this space is it matches the personality of the homeowners.
Yeah, so this is such a great space in sort of rural Williamson County. Great area to be, beautiful rolling hills, and so this client was looking more, they like more of a sort of a simple country lifestyle, right? But they want things to be elegant but classic. So something that looks like it could be here 100 years from now and could have been here 100 years ago. So we try to match that personality. They're not looking for too fussy or too busy. It just needs to be sort of simple, strong, and elegant, and very well structured. So that's what we tried to accomplish.
Well, Chris, you've done an amazing job with the very distinct areas that the homeowner wanted.
Thank you. Yeah, this was a great project. We did this one about 5 years ago, and like Daniel said, the kind of farmhouse look, sitting up here on top of the hill, beautiful property, beautiful layout, and we really enjoyed working on this one.
And Daniel, one of the things that I like is all the projects are so different. So the project we were at earlier this fall was very classic, very clean lines, and like you said, this is very country, homey, but very classy at the same time.
Yeah, that's the great part of our job, right? Is that every job is different, not necessarily just for the project itself, but because of the homeowners. And that's really where you start. You're starting with what that client's desires and hopes are to try to execute their ultimate dreams, right? And so in this one, it was a little bit different than what we talked about in the last episode, where they go, look, there's a lot of function to what we want to try to accomplish. We want to have a place to sit by our fireplace. We want to have a place to sit out by the pool. We want to have structure to the landscape in front, but we're not gardeners. And so they're not looking to see an incredible amount of busy work in the garden, because they're used to farm life. They're used to doing things functionally to kind of help keep the property in shape. There's too many other things to do, right? They're not looking for another job to be a gardener, so to speak.
And Chris, one of the things that you were telling me earlier was this landscaping is very mature, and you can tell that they've taken very good care of it, but they don't have to do a lot to it.
That's right. The homeowner wanted very low maintenance. They made that clear from the start. So the way Daniel designed it was a lot of the low maintenance plants, just a once a year kind of touch up, set it and forget it, and everything is kind of grown in and it looks really nice.
Well, and that's a wonderful thing about landscaping, Daniel, is if you do it right and you get professionals to do it that know how these beautiful plants like to work with the land and how much sunlight they have, all of those things are important when you're doing land planning.
Absolutely. So, we try to do a pretty thorough sort of initial interview with clients early on, so we understand how many kids do you have, how is your normal day spent, do you have pets, do you like to tinker in the garden, or is it something more really you just like to look at? Do you work outside, or do you have somebody else do that for you? So all those questions kind of lay into what the landscaping ultimately needs to be and what that plant material selection needs to be. Does it need to be more heavily evergreen, something that's going to be green throughout the year, and something that's going to just sort of provide structure to the landscaping? And so those are all things that you come through in that interview process.
And Chris, one of the things that's important for homeowners to think about is how they want to use this space. So the last two homes that we went to, the homeowners were extremely thoughtful in how they wanted to use the space, and that helps you in the planning as well.
Yeah, absolutely. This particular homeowner has a large family, lots of kids running around, lots of friends come into town, so they wanted some different areas where they could hang out all year long. So you've got the pool to jump in the summertime, it gets a little cold, you can sit by the fireplace, a lot of outdoor dining. Lots of different uses in this property.
Daniel, we have a pretty large footprint here, but you have shown us with the home with the putting green that you don't have to have a large footprint to have your desired outdoor look.
That's right. So, every space is different. You've either got spaces that are small and folks may want to maximize their smaller space. This one was a little bit different. They've got a lot of room, but they're not going to use every square foot of it. So it's really just kind of going through the menu items of what they'd like to accomplish. As Chris mentioned, right? They want places where they can sit out by the fire. They want places where they can sit out by the pool. And so maximizing the use of those spaces during certain times of the year was a key point, but it wasn't filling every square inch of the property, so to speak.
Daniel, one of the amazing things about what you and Chris do together is outdoor living spaces are so much more important now. You know, it was one of the big things that changed with COVID. And to be able to have a space like this that fits all your needs is just really nice, and you get to enjoy your home so much more.
Yeah, COVID changed a lot of things for a lot of people, right? So how you vacation was different, how you used your home was different. And so I think what we're seeing a lot of is people wanting to kind of have their own home oasis, right? Whether it's in the country or it's in the city. They want to be able to get home and enjoy their private spaces and be in their own world. And I think that kind of rang true with these homeowners as well. They're out in the country, but and once you kind of enter into their space, you feel like you're in their own world. And so the spaces are very private, they're elegant, they're done well, and you can kind of forget about everything else that's around you. And I think that's a kind of a common thread for a lot of homeowners.
And Chris, when you talk about forgetting everything that's around you in this particular space, you planted specific trees to hide things.
Yes, ma'am. We planted some very large magnolia trees to do some screening. There's some different backdrop to screen some other views of some of the neighbors to block the view from the pool and things like that. Like Daniel was saying, to just sort of create that private oasis, so when you're here, you feel like you're in your own little world.
Thank you guys so much for taking us to another amazing space.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having us.
We'll be back with more My Southern Home in just a moment.